Good morning, everyone. Today I'd like to share with you an awesome design team project that I completed. This was for Country Craft Creations, the April 2016 design team project. And on this one, I had the opportunity to use the Authentique Homestead collection. I know every time I get a collection, I say, oh my gosh, this is the best. I absolutely love it. I'm telling you, if you like retro, if you like vintage, if you like country, you will absolutely love this. This is just probably the coolest collection. It is extremely retro and vintage. The colors, the patterns, I'm sure you probably recognize some of these, depending on how old you are. And I just think it flows so well together. I'm just thrilled to have used it. I think it turned out great. What I've made is staying with the theme of the paper collection. This is a recipe album of sorts, okay? Actually, it combines a few things once you get inside, so I'm excited to share that with you. I have my little scene set up here. This is a very, very vintage cookbook. This was my mom's, and it was, I believe, her mother's. The Settlement Cookbook. This is just very, very cool, very retro. You can very lightly see her name up here across the top. So it's been taped up and repaired, but I tell you, I can remember her using this all the time. So I have it, and luckily I got to hang on to it. It didn't get destroyed, so I was thrilled. And it goes with this theme. And then, of course, you all know what this is, an old potato masher. And this has like a little clip on here that you could put recipes on. I just thought that was kind of clever and cute. I didn't do this. I got it like this, but I thought it was a cute idea. Okay, let's get to the project at hand. This is a big project. This is a large one. It is an 8x8 album. However, the spine is 5 inches. A 5-inch spine. Can you even imagine that? That is huge. I about died when I was cutting it. I thought, oh my land sakes. But I needed that much, and especially if there was going to be room for you to add additional recipes and such in here, I wanted to make sure there was ample space. Okay, I used the Cartabella brick red cardstock. I love how this turned out, especially with this paper collection. The red just really went super well with this. The Cartabella cardstock is such a quality cardstock. It holds up well. You're not going to get a lot of chipping and cracking and peeling. So that was perfect for this project because there's a lot of folds and flips and flaps in here. You know I like to do those. On the cover, you have your plaid. Isn't that a pretty pattern too? And I went ahead and got online and I found a very cool vintage retro print of this little lady cooking in the kitchen. And on the side here, I did cut out, actually these were from the chipboard sticker sheet that came with the collection, and this is home. And I went ahead and I backed these on the cardstock as well, and I popped them up along the side to give it some dimension. This is a burlap flower, kind of a deep brick red. This is a burlap flower. Kind of rusticy, and I thought that went well again with the time frame. And then the silverware on the front, I've got the spoon, the fork, and the knife. And these are little metal pieces. I found a box of these. My husband and I went on an antiquing trip a few weeks ago, and I found a box of these at an antique shop and was able to get several in the box. Some were broken, but several of them were in great shape, like these. And anyway, I got a good deal on them, so I bought the whole box. I thought that went really well with it. And then up at the top, who remembers the Starburst clocks from retro times? When I saw this embellishment, I thought, oh my gosh, that just works out super with this. And the clock in this picture, in this retro picture, there's a clock. And I had to put a little red jewel in the center of it, where the hands would attach. I thought that kind of set it off real cute. Okay, on the spine, let me flip this over. Look at the size of this spine. I told you it was immense. It is 5 inches. I've got a pretty sheer red bow tied up along the side. And what I've done is I've also taken some of the ephemera cards and I've matted those, and I added those on the side as well. I thought those were really cute. There was 2 different sizes. I used several of them. I just thought that was really cute. Okay, and this, to close this, the type of closure that I use, because this book is so huge, I used a magnetic closure here with the flaps, and I went ahead and I lined these with chipboard to give them a little bit more stability. I wanted them to be a little more solid. And I went ahead again and used cutout from the 6x6 pad. I went ahead and cut these sweet little tags out, and I matted those to dress up the closure. On the back, oh my gosh, yeah, I love this so much. This was just so much fun to do, and there was so much you could do that I just didn't even want to stop. I wanted to keep adding and adding and adding. So I used almost all of that collection, and I had 1 sheet of the cardstock left. That's it. Well, actually, it wasn't even a whole sheet. So anyway, I printed out again another vintage retro photo of this little lady. She's got her bow in her hair and her heels on and her cute polka dot apron, and she's bringing a, I don't know, I can't tell, it looks like maybe chili, a bowl of something, I'm sure, to the table that she made for her man. Cool, very, very cool graphic. And then I have gone ahead and I put these are some of the ephemera cards, and I went ahead, and you can write on the backs of these too. So I didn't mat these because there are spaces specifically on the back that you can use to write on, and I didn't want to cover that up. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. These all come out, and again, they're very usable and very, very theme oriented to this collection. Okay, let me wrestle this back in focus. This is looking down at it. Okay, this is the top. So you can see how huge this album is. Absolutely huge. All right, let's get to it. I can't wait to show you this. Okay, we're going to lay it down here, and again, I'm going to do my best to keep it in focus. Yell if I get out of focus. I'll keep checking. Okay, we're going to open the side flap, the magnetic closures. Okay, and we're going to lift this open. Ta-da, ta-da. Wait till you see. Okay, we're in. All right. On this side, this is the inside cover. Okay. The inside cover, what I've done is, let me kind of turn this up a little bit. Let's stand it up for a sec so you can kind of see this. This I made out of chipboard. So this is hard. It's very, very durable. And this is actually a recipe file folder. Okay. I'm trying to find the best way to show this to you. All right, let's kind of get this whole thing in focus real quick. All right. I've went ahead and chicken wire. Isn't this print just the cutest? Chicken wire. I love that. And again, this goes so well with this theme. On the front of this box, and again, this is created from cardstock, and then it's covered with it. It's created from chipboard, then covered with the cardstock, and then with the pattern paper. I did use some of the matching seam binding that also came in the collection that I had gotten. Works perfectly. A lot of the seam bindings match these collections super good, so highly recommend it. I did some more of the cut-aparts and some more of the little chipboard pieces, the stickers, and matted everything. I liked for everything to flow and to kind of come together. I popped these up to give it some dimension. You have a little lift here. When you lift this up, let me focus you back in. This was on the inside cover, the inside cardboard cover of the paper collection, and I thought it was so cool. I thought I'm going to cut that out and use it. I really like it. It says, "It is the sweet, simple things of life, which are the real ones after all." I thought that was a cool picture. I thought it was a neat saying, and I thought it was perfect for right there. So lift that up, and when you do, you have a pocket on the bottom, and I have put in several recipe cards. And on these recipe cards, I did not map the backs of these because sometimes recipes can really run way over the front and you need more space to write on. This particular bunch of them, I did not mat the back. The rest of them throughout, I did. You can still write on them, but I thought especially up here in the front and in this pocket, I didn't want to push my luck and make them any thicker because there's a lot going on in this space. Again, once you lift that flap, open this, and it's actually a huge accordion file that you can put recipes in. Now, inside each one, you pull this out. I can't wait to show you this. I used my cut and emboss to do the top. Isn't that sweet? I love, love, love that. And then you open this up. These are all magnetized. You open this up, and here's a recipe planner. Isn't this cool? I thought this was perfect to use. This is a place to put the name, the purpose, serve it with, pair it with, and it serves how many. You can put all that info at the top. Down here you have space for your prep time, a marinade times. These are all times that you would need to marinate it, freeze, cook, chill in hours and minutes. Then you have your cook time down here, how much to preheat it, what to bake it at. A lot of info on here. And then the ingredients, you write the ingredients here, and then down here's the directions. Isn't that cool? I just love these. I found these at County Market, actually. A pad of them, and I thought, man, one of these days I'm going to use those, and this worked out perfect. Especially with the red. I went ahead and matted each one of these, and again, these are all magnetic, so these will also hold recipes you could stick inside here. This is what is inside this recipe box. And again, that's a big recipe box. When you open that flap, that accordion file, you can get a ton of recipes in there. A ton. Isn't that cool? So this is actually, as I said, this is kind of a multifunctional album, if you will. Something a little bit different, huh? All right, on the inside, this is the inside of a piece of the spine. This is a bookmark. Again, this is magnetized, so you can stick this right back here, and it's going to stick where you put it. It's not going to go anywhere. Let's say you have a cookbook out and you want to mark it. Pull this off. Sticks right back in when you're finished with it. Right back in on the spine. Perfect. Love that idea too. I come up with some good ideas here and there, don't you think? Creative, creative. Okay, let's get to the pages. Each page is different, of course. Again, the inside of this cover, I used the chicken wire. I think that is just the coolest print, and of course it goes. I mean, it absolutely goes with this theme. You cannot get much more retro and country than chicken wire. On this first page, okay, you have a magnetic flap. This opens, and inside you have another recipe card. And these are plentiful throughout. I made sure there's a ton of them throughout, and these are all matted. So these are really heavy duty, sturdy, because they're matted with cardstock. So it's a good size card. These are 4x6, so there's a lot of space to write in these. And there's a stop right here that says no place like home, and this just slides nicely right inside. Magnetic closure keeps it in place. You could add more recipes there if you'd like. And each one of these pages, of course, has a big, big top load matted tag. And of course, the tags are all matted and papered with some of the papers used throughout this entire collection. They have a cute little pull at the top. Plenty of space. This page also, I went ahead and I used some more of those chipboard stickers. They're very cool. They're all matted just to kind of give it a little bit more oomph, a little more of a decoration. And this is some more of the very cool seam binding. Again, this is in like a taupe. Goes perfectly with this old farm barnwood backing. All right, let's turn the page. Isn't this too cute? Okay, I had 2 of those burlap kind of reddish flowers. So I went ahead and I put that on this page just to decorate it up. I've got some black and white striped ribbon that I thought would go perfect with this black and white checked paper and against that red. I went ahead and I punched the edge of this flap to give it a little bit more substance and dimension and interest. I thought that was kind of cute. So open this. Let me pull it down a little bit. Oh, what am I hanging up on? Oh, my lace here. Okay. My starburst is catching on my lacy. Open this up. And you have a little belly band at the top, and here's a cute little sweet tag that says, I'd rather wear flowers on my hair than diamonds around my neck. I don't know who wrote that. I'm not sure about that saying, but it's cute. And then you open this bottom flap, and again, we have 2 more matted 4x6 recipe cards. These fit nicely right back inside this pocket at the bottom, and this is trimmed in teeny little black and white checked ribbon. And then we have, let's move it back up a little. When you fold this bottom flap down, here's another little belly band, and this has Homestead. Again, everything's matted. This also said homemade up here. This is another sweet, cute little matted tag. And this is indigo blue. This is a union-made washing soap. And there's an old-fashioned washer on the front of this. Pure white laundry soap. Cute little, you could do a little journaling spot here, or if you wanted to write maybe a special message or something about what's on these cards. Maybe it's a special recipe you got from a loved one. You might want to put a little note on those. I thought that was kind of a cool thing. Okay, next page. Like I said, ladies, every page is different, but I like that. I like the interest because you never know what is going to be on the next page when you flip it. So that's kind of cool, don't you think? And again, each page has the very large top load matted tag. On this page, okay, you're going to, there's lots of flips and flaps. First, you're going to lift this up, and again, you have another recipe planner here. This is magnetized, so this closes, and this also lifts up. And on the underside, you have a stop here. And this is Madame Bloomer's. This is the Bloomeroy Egg Saver, 48-cent eggs. Value of 48-cent eggs, cost 25 cents. Awesome. Wouldn't that be nice if that was now? I went ahead, and here is another sweet cut apart. I did not, or this is an ephemera card, I'm sorry. And on the back, for the record, so there's a place to write on the back that's already, you know, complementary to the front part. So I did not want to mat this. Some of the cut aparts, absolutely I matted, but these had also interest on the back, so I didn't want to cover that up. In the pocket that this holds closed, you have 2 more of the recipe cards, the 4x6 recipe cards, and again, a lot more space inside that you could add some more recipes. This is adorned with some more of the red seam binding, and I also trimmed that pocket with that cute, cute punch, the scallop punch. Don't you think that kind of goes with this theme, the scallops? It kind of reminds me of the shelf paper they used to use. This says homegrown across the bottom, just a little cutesy something to dress it up a little. Turning the page, next page, we have the base paper is the checkerboard. It's like a brick red against kind of a, gosh, I don't know what you call it, not really a blue. It's kind of a lightish, we'll go with kind of a blue-green, but real pastel. Really cute. Very cool. This pattern is the chickens. You can see this pattern here on this page better. See the checkerboard? Okay, I brought it over to this page as well. All right, these are 2 pockets on this page. And the pattern paper that I used are all different kinds of chickens, and they have different colorings on them. There's some polka dots, some with plaid, some with, oh my gosh, stripes. So it's kind of a rendition of the pattern papers used throughout. So those are on the chickens. I thought that was a pretty cool idea. I popped this up. This says remember when. You could make a little note here. It's plenty of space to write something on. And also at the top, I popped this up and it says family. These are matted as well. There's a big recipe card in this bottom pocket, and in the top pocket I didn't put anything. I left that empty. I thought maybe if you're like me, you have all kinds of little slips of paper that you've cut out of magazines or books with recipes. That would be a perfect place to stick some of those. On this page, isn't this too cute? I have little ceramic roosters, and again, ties in with the roosters over here and the chickens. These also came from Tammy over at Country Craft Creations. When she sent the collection, she added these inside. How cute is that? I used the cream colored seam binding on this page. This is the Farmer's Times. It's like pieces from an old farmer's newspaper. Open this flap. Of course, it's a flap. Let me get this scooted over so you can kind of see what's up in here. Okay. When you open that flap, there's a bottom stop. And I have, yes, another of the large 4x6 recipe cards. This slides nicely right back in, fits perfectly. I'll slide this back over in focus. Okay. And when you lift this magnetic flap, then underneath you have your base page. This is a farm scene, kind of in a deep dark brick red, or kind of a brownish, but it has a little bit of a muted red tone to it. Goes great with this red cardstock. I love it against this red cardstock. I've taken some of the now these on the bottom here, this bushel basket and this beehive, I went ahead and those are cutouts that I did from some of the papers. I thought I really like those. That would make cute, cute bottom stops. And then this is a bottom, a little tag, if you will, a retro tag, and I went ahead and I matted these, and I popped the top one up, and these are adhered towards the bottom so that these, you can put something behind it. It is a bottom stop. So this works out perfectly. And again, I went ahead and added the seam binding to decorate the base page. It runs the length, decorates the base page perfectly. And this just fits right back over the top. And a magnetic closure keeps everything in place nicely. Again, these all have the super big top load, matted top load tags. Next page. This is a corner, or not corner, a side pocket. It's matted in the same print as the previous page, the farm scene, and I've used the black, no, what's with me today? I used the brown kind of sheer ribbon to dress it up. I thought that kind of popped it up a little bit more and made a sweet little bow. And inside that pocket holds this booklet. This says family, where life begins and love never ends. I went ahead and put some ribbon accents on it. This is from the collection. This is one of the chipboard stickers. Love them. Some apples. This is from the paper collection. This is one of the patterns. Inside, I have put 2 more of the recipe cards. This is a recipe album, of course, so there's ample space, ladies. I mean ample space for several recipes. On this page, you've got the barnwood backing. There's a magnet on the base, and there's a magnet on the back of this. So this just sticks back on. What I thought this would be perfect for is to take some of those recipes that you have, that you've cut out of magazines or the paper, and put them in here. This has a little tie closure. You open that. And you have another recipe card here, and then here in the bottom, this pulls out and it says best in class. Just a little, maybe you want to make a note of about the recipes that you're going to put in here. This was along the top of the paper collection, and it says, It is the sweet, simple things of life, which are the real ones after all. And it's signed Laura Ingalls Wilder. So what a cute saying, and how perfect with this collection. I've got your sweet little rooster. He's matted over here, and he kind of sets this off, this little holder. And you close this back up. And like I said, this just ties right around the bottom. And then I've got a couple of the sweet little matted tags that were in the collection. And then this just goes right back, fits on the top of here, magnetized. It's not going to go anywhere. Turning the page, this is a bottom pocket. And nope, I didn't do it over here. Okay, this is like old barnwood. And it looked like it had nails across the top. So what I did was I punched those, and I went ahead and added some copper colored brads to simulate nails. Nail heads. I thought that really kind of set it off and gave it a little bit more interest and dimension, of course. And yes, we have another recipe card here, and I went ahead and put a pull on this one to make it easier to get in and out, and to add a little bit more interest, if you will, a little more decoration. On this page, these are, you have sheep, you have goats, you have cows, and these are all sporting, again, different attire. So some have the polka dots, some have the plaid, some have the stripes, and these are patterns from this collection. So that's kind of a clever, cute idea, I thought. I have a side corner pocket, and I went ahead and I matted some of these small little cards that I cut out from the 6x6 pad and used those to add some interest to the page. And I went ahead and I matted, these were some of the cut aparts. And since these were just plain on the back, I went ahead and matted them and I gave them pulls. I thought that was kind of a cute thing. This one you can write on the bottom of it. I wanted to leave some space to make some simple notes or some special notes, if you will. These slide right back in nicely, not going anywhere. Again, another top load, super nice pull tag. On this page, we have a top magnetic closure flap, and this is adorned with the cream colored seam binding, and we also have another of the chipboard stickers, and I went ahead and I punched out the decorative scalloped backing for it. This says, "Our family is a circle of strength and love." You lift this flap, and yes, it's magnetized. And this is also the very cool paper with all the livestock on it, dressed in their finest. Very, very cool. And across the bottom, you have a belly band that says "Live a Simple Life." And I've matted two more of the cut aparts. I thought these were very cool, and I just like the idea of leaving a space at the bottom to make a note. If you want to put a picture or make a special note about someone that maybe gave you a recipe in this case, this would be a perfect place to kind of mention that and date it, if you will. You know, so many times we get things and we forget because we don't write on them the dates, and then we're like, oh my gosh, when did we get that? What date was that? So that's kind of a nice area to use that for. Again, magnetic closure keeps everything nice and secure. Nothing's going to fall out, or you're not going to lose anything on it. Okay, this is the last page. This is a full 6 pages on the right hand side. Not to mention this huge recipe box. It's actually a recipe box on the inside front cover. So lots going on in this particular project. This is the darker taupe seam binding, and this sets it off. I love how this turned out. This again is the looks like the weathered board, like the weathered barnwood boards, and it had like the nails. You know, you could see like there were nails in the actual print. So I punched again, and I went ahead and used these copper colored brads to fill in where those nail heads would be, and I just thought that just gave it a little something extra and dressed that page up. These are on each one. I did this to each one of these side waterfall pages, if you will. These would be perfect places to add photos. This would be perfect places to add some recipes that you wanted to stick on. Excellent. I left plenty of space. And of course, underneath and in the bottom, we have another booklet. And this booklet, when you open it up, you have a side stop here. It says Little Moments. And again, these are from the ephemera cards. So I didn't want to cover up the backing because each one of the ephemera cards has something on the back that is useful that you can use to write on. There's one here, and I have 3 down in the bottom in that pocket. Aren't these adorable? This is such a very cool collection, ladies. I just can't brag on it enough how much I really enjoy using it and how easy. You know, sometimes you get collections and they just kind of dictate what you should do with them because they're that easy to use. They just scream, you know, hey, do this with that or use this for that. That's what this collection is. It's easy to use. It's easy to maneuver. You dearly will truly love it. It's just that much fun to work with. The base page here, I did use the red polka dot against that like tannish color. I thought that was really pretty, and it flows again with the rest of the paper collection. It all just works so well and it goes so good together. What is my very favorite technique that I always use and I love to use? Waterfall. You know there's always going to be a waterfall in my books. Always. There's no getting around it. So, not to mention this giant, you know, recipe box in the front, but there's also a waterfall on the back page. I have my sweet little decorative knife here, my little metal knife. And this says Good Things. It's matted. All right. This is a magnetized band that holds it shut. You open this band. And inside, more recipe cards. And on the backs of these, I went ahead and I just put a cream colored rounded edged cardstock. That way you can continue your recipes to the back if they overflow on the front. You can continue with them on the back. Or you could add some new ones. Now, let's lift this waterfall up. Let's move this up a little bit so we can get everything in. We're going to lift this entire waterfall. And there's more. Okay, on the underside of the waterfall, here's another pocket that says Love and Family. Inside are some more of those adorable, cool ephemera cards. This says the story. There's places to write on the backs of these. So I did not cover that. I did mat the ones that I cut from the paper line, the cut aparts. I did mat those because they were plain on the back. But these all have something of interest on the back, so I didn't want to cover that. But there's 3 of those, and that's in the pocket under the flap of the waterfall. Then on the very bottom underneath the waterfall, you've got some more. These, again, were some of the cut aparts, and these were plain on the back, so I did mat these in the awesome, heavy-duty, super cool brick red Cartabella cardstock. Love that cardstock. It's a dream to work with. Highly recommend it. I need to get some more. I used a ton in this book. This was another little chipboard piece, sticker that I used, and I matted this little arrow. It says My Happy, and up here Love and Family. We close the waterfall, and the magnetized band keeps it nice and snug and in place where it should be. All right. I told you this was full. This took me a little while to do, but I can't tell you how happy I am with how it turned out. I just absolutely love it. On the inside back cover, I went ahead and I used another one of those really cool starburst shapes with the jewels on it. It just reminds me of the retro time, the starburst clocks. My mom had a big old starburst clock. I just thought that was so cool. This is an envelope, and my idea for this was, it's a ribbon closure. You untie that, open this envelope, and you've got a little pull here, a little scallop pull to pull this tag out. Good size tag. Again, this came from the chipboard sticker collection with that Authentique Homestead collection. It says, it is the sweet, simple things of life which are the ones after all. So that theme is persistent throughout this collection. I thought that was cute. My idea for this envelope back here would be, again, if you've got, say you have some handwritten recipes from a grandmother or your mom or an aunt or someone you know you really, really cared about, and you wanted to preserve those, and you really wanted them because they're so special because they're handwritten, you know, what a great place to put them. Back here in this envelope, they're kind of out of sight. They're out of the way of people handling them. Depending on how old they are, they can become kind of fragile. But what a great place to preserve them and keep them handy if you want to refer to them. So that was my idea on this envelope. This is a 6x6 envelope. Holds that, you know, a good size piece then. That card is a 6x6 inside, so the envelope's just a little bit bigger. Again, this is on the chicken wire paper. And the envelope, I made this using one of the paper sheets, and this has all kinds of recipes on it. I thought that was kind of clever and appropriate since that's what I had hoped to use this for. That is it, ladies. A huge, giant, big album. I hope that you liked it. I loved creating this. I think it's just the coolest thing. I mean, I hate to say that, but I absolutely love this. The collection is just to die for. You need to get this. If you're interested, head on over to Tammy's countrycraftcreations.com. She can help you. You won't find anyone that ships faster than this woman. I do not know how she does it. It amazes me to no end. Everything I've used as far as products and materials in this particular project you can get from her. You can't get the silverware. That came from an antique shop. And I did not get the starburst from her. Everything else you can get from Tammy. I think also the burlap flour I had in my stash. Sorry, but I promise everything else you can get from Tammy. I will include some links at the bottom of this tutorial, at the bottom of this video. One of these days, I promise I will get a tutorial up for you guys. I haven't yet, but it is in the plan. So thanks for stopping by. I hope that you'll come back again. I will be doing some more projects and orders. I will be having this for sale, so if you're interested, get in touch with me and we can talk about it. And if you have a chance, also check them in my blog. That's over at cross-eyedcricketcreations.blogspot.com. And I think you have to use the https://. I'll put a link to that too, so not to worry. Thank you so much for taking your time and stopping by, and please come back again. Thank you, ladies.